I was trying to go clean pools and then get out of the water, and I was like, all right, I need something to kind of rinse off, because you're just being salty like that, it feels gross to put your shirt back on. And so I took some of my extra pipe that I had and plumbed this thing and put it together and built a little shower system. And then some guys were like, hey, what is that? It is super rare for things to go viral and go that well. You know, Shark Tank called us up after that, and it was like doors just started opening up. Like, you know, we went to Costco, we went to all these big stores, we're like, yeah, we want to carry this. And Amazon was calling us like, we want to put this, you know, all these things. So it was really cool to see, like, when you have momentum like that, you can just walk through walls. My name is Chris Crawford, and I am the founder of RinseKit. Well, I was originally born in Texas, and then I moved to San Diego, California, where I've lived most of my life, and then I lived in Hawaii for a year. San Diego, loved it here. I mean, I've never known anything better, I guess, but ever since I was a kid, I've always been into outdoor stuff. Definitely got really into outdoor, like, extreme sport stuff when I was in high school, things like that. Started getting into spearfishing, mountain biking, diving, surfing, you know, anything on the motor, dirt bikes, all that kind of stuff. You know, school wasn't really my thing. It did not work for me, it didn't fit. I probably checked out of school like second grade, I was just over it. So I just had to go through the paces and at least get like a high school diploma. I went to Torrey Pines High School, and you know, it was a pretty cool school for me because it was really lax, and you know, I had like so many electives, it was crazy. So I was never really like, yeah, I want to go to college and be this or that. It was just more of like, I just want to get out of school and like start my life. And then one of the jobs I got in high school that was really cool was chasing hot air balloons. And we used to basically get paid to off-road. The guy that had the hot air balloon company also had a pool cleaning company. So the hot air balloons only fly in the afternoon, and during the day I would go clean pools all day and, you know, help him work on stuff. And so I kind of got exposed to, you know, heaters, electricity, water pumps, all that kind of stuff. And after doing that for a few years for him, I decided, I was like, you know, I don't really want to work for somebody my whole life and get paid minimum wage. I think I'm gonna start my own thing. So I got some help from family and bought my little pool route for like 12 grand, I think. And I got teamed up with a builder who would build these pools, and they would build like 100 pools a month. And so I would start the pool up as a new client, and then I would work the service for a little while, and then I'd take the, you know, account and sell it to somebody else. Yeah, and then I just kept some of the accounts that I had. Like, we used to clean all the pools on the military base, and I was like, hey, I told my buddy, I was like, I'm gonna go live in Hawaii with my dad for a year. So you can run the company and, you know, just kind of do your thing. So I kind of pieced out and just went to Hawaii for a year and just got to do some of the coolest stuff in my life. I mean, snorkeling, spearfishing at night, you know, waterfalls. We did snorkel tours, boat stuff. I mean, Hawaii's pretty rugged and crazy. I mean, and the kids out there are like gnarly. Like, everybody charges, they all surf. They're not afraid of like huge waves and doing all sorts of fun stuff. So it was a really cool experience. I mean, you're camping every weekend and just getting exposed to everything, you know, that is raw in nature out there. So that was a fun experience. After doing the pools for like, I think 12 years, I was pretty tired of it. I was pretty sick of it. You know, I was just burned out. It was time for a change. I wasn't like, you know, I was building pools at this point. I had a contractor's license, and so I kind of understood plumbing, and, you know, we had done all this extra stuff, and actually built some pools while I was in Hawaii too. And I came back and I was like, surfing was, you know, becoming more and more fun for me. So I was trying to go clean pools and then get out of the water, and I was like, all right, I need something to kind of rinse off, because you're just being salty like that, it feels gross to put your shirt back on and you're all dripping wet. And you're wearing board shorts as a pool guy anyway. So it was like, just if I could just rinse off and then go back to work, you know, I needed some sort of water thing, and the jugs just weren't really cutting it. So I took some of my extra pipe that I had and, you know, plumbed this thing and put it together and built a little shower system. And then some guys were like, hey, what is that? You know, there wasn't really anything like that. So it was kind of interesting to see how many people were interested in it. And then, you know, just looking at it from, you know, through the eyes of an opportunity or entrepreneur or whatever, I was like, maybe I could sell these to people, you know? You're always looking for ways to make more money. So the first rinse kit that we made was, we didn't have enough money to like put a full tool together, because it's, you know, it could be almost 100 grand for a tool. for the tools apart, the plastic injects into and stuff like that. So they're really expensive. So I basically made just a bottle tool, and we found a local company in San Diego to make the bottles for us that would hold the water. And then I would take these totes from Walmart, and they would sell a black tote with a green lid, and then they'd sell a green tote with a black lid. So I'd have to buy all the green totes and all the black totes, and then I'd switch the lids, and then I'd return the green totes with the silver lid. I just like send it back, and so I got the black, the full black unit, and then we made our own like little tray, and we'd put these things all together by hand. It was a horrible nightmare, but we made like 400 of them by hand, and went to a street fair and sold out. So it was pretty cool. So we did a Kickstarter like 8 months into it, and then it kind of was a flop because the product really wasn't ready. I got some more funding and got some more investors behind me, and then basically went, okay, we're going to redesign the whole product from the ground up. And we made a tool, and then we made the thing look professional, and we got some marketing behind it, and then we did, I would say like 6 months later, we did a whole nother Kickstarter.
Throughout the years, mankind has pursued their outdoor passions and has suffered unnecessarily. We've always felt that the RinseKit could be the ultimate portable shower if it could make its own hot water. But our early attempts to heat the water in the RinseKit were a little impractical. Finally, we figured it out. We developed a heating probe that drops into the tank and runs off a rechargeable battery. It quickly heats the water in the tank to a nice, comfortable shower temperature. I even included a smart USB.
We hired a company to kind of help us push it, and they put out our Kickstarter campaign to a Facebook page called GI Gadgets, and GI Gadgets posted it, and I think it went viral overnight because it got 36 million views and just took off. And we just saw the little things like hockey stick. It was pretty cool. So I think we got over $400,000 in sales, and probably another 400 or 500 grand in sales outside of Kickstarter after that. So that was kind of the beginning of the viral phase of RinseKit. It is super rare for things to go viral and go that well. Shark Tank called us up after that, and it was like doors just started opening up. Like, we went to Costco, we went to all these big stores, we're like, yeah, we want to carry this, and Amazon was calling us like, we want to put this, all these things. So it was really cool to see, like, when you have momentum like that, you can just walk through walls. So after Shark Tank, we kind of switched over into just, management mode. Making sure the orders were going out okay and things were, getting made on time, and manufacturing. Had to learn how to run a business basically after that. So that was a quick, sharp learning curve, but we kind of figured it out. All we had at that point was the original RinseKit. The way the original ones worked was you just have a tank and it's sealed, and so when you hook it up to your hose in your house, the water pressure from your house comes in at 60 psi, and it just compresses that air. So when you close the valve on the tank, you store that water pressure in there, and that's that should never wear out or never break or do anything. But I think over the course of the next year or so, we kind of realized, like, people want water heaters, they do want to be able to pump it up, they want more water, and they want all these things. So it took a few years after that to kind of evolve the company. But yeah, we've created a lot of different things since then to kind of answer those different categories and what their needs are. We started to hear a lot of feedback from people on, what happens if I don't have access to water pressure? If I don't have a hose, how do I fill it? If I'm out at a remote campsite, how do I fill this thing up? So we started to really think about different ways to, pressurize the water. And we figured the most convenient way was to develop a more advanced pump system. So we started working on, a battery-powered system, and it took a few years of testing different pumps and batteries and control panels and things like that. And eventually we came up with the RinseKit Pro. When we started the RinseKit Pro, we launched that one as kind of a test to see how people would react to a battery-powered system. And people love it. I mean, it's so much easier to use. There's not all these issues with pressure and things like that. So The RinseKit Pro kind of showed us like, okay, this is the future of where we want to take most of our shower systems now. It kind of opened the door up for us to create all these different shapes and sizes and different types of form factors for people that, you know, have different needs. So we have, you know, roof rack mounted stuff coming out, camp enhanced stuff with kitchens and, you know, all sorts of things like that. So we got a lot of cool systems that I think the pump system really opened up for us. We're going to be launching a lot of really neat stuff pretty soon here. We originally created that pressure system. Like that didn't exist like that. Like, you know, I invented that. So that was something that I saw as a surfer. I said, this would be great if I didn't have to do this, you know, and these things just work like this. So we created that, and that kind of created that category. And then some other companies have kind of, you know, used that technology, but now they're already behind because we've already gone to the next thing, which is the pump systems, the heating systems and stuff like that. And I think that you'll see a lot of things out there where guys will kind of take stuff that you can get on, you know, Amazon and this and that and put it together, and they try to sell it like it's a shower system, but it's missing some things. And you know, the whole point, and it's, you know, that's why we picked the name RinseKit. It's a kit that you buy and it does the whole thing. You shouldn't need other stuff with it. You know, you carry the water, it's got the battery, it's got the pump, it's got the heat, like you can do all that stuff with it. So this system isn't all, it's a complete unit. It's not like, oh, by the way, you still need this or that or whatever to do it. So I would say that, you know, the things that we're patenting and the things that we're developing are making sure everything's super waterproof, super durable. It lasts forever. The batteries in our current units and the units that are coming out, I mean, I think they last 3 to 6 months if you use it every single day without having to recharge it. And it charges really quickly and easily when you're ready, and you know, the heating and the storage and all that stuff. So we're trying to just kind of go, okay, what would be the ultimate system? You know, what will last the test of time, and you know, what will people to use for, you know, I don't know, 10 years from now, it's still pretty cool and it's still totally useful, instead of like something that's kind of falling apart or janky or doesn't, you know, hold pressure anymore. So that's what we're trying to get away from, is like the stuff that eventually wears out, into things that like you buy it once and you're done. You know, that's all you're gonna need. Yeah, so, you know, when I first started RinseKit, I was just married, no kids, and now we have 2 kids, and we're going to the beach all the time, and we carry bikes and all these different things, and sand toys and whatever. So it's definitely, you know, it made me rethink. You know, I didn't really care about rinsing off with cold water as a surfer because you got a wetsuit on, but my kids hate cold water. So like, you got to have hot water. You need more water. My wife can take it and use it. Like, these kind of things have kind of changed the way I look at stuff. As we use them, you know, for personal use, or as we talk to people or whatever, we're constantly evolving this stuff. You'll kind of see, like, we're always going to be one step ahead with a lot of these things, just because we're developing things now that, you know, like, take years and years. Like the stuff that we're coming out with later this year in 2022, we started them 3 years ago. So, you know, it takes a long time to develop this technology, get it tested, get it through, you know, all the paces it needs to go through, but it's definitely evolved. I think that people are going to be like, wow, this is super useful. Like, I don't have to think about it. It's just there. And it becomes common, like something you would just keep in your car all the time. You know, it's like having a flashlight or a Leatherman in your car, some sort of tool that you would always need, you know, something you're just like, I always have this, it's ready to go. I didn't know I needed it until I had it, kind of thing.